And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
First carry for DeAndre Swift.
He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Well, this defense for the Texans, they were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
Looking to throw on second down. Bass. And this one is incomplete.
I'm looking at this one with my defensive eyeglasses on because you remember the old days when a tight end saw a linebacker covering him and thought he had a mismatch? But the way they can run nowadays, not necessarily so. They gave it a shot downfield. That one incomplete.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. From the gun, Bass. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. So they obviously decline that, and it is a touchdown.
They still have the option, but let's face it, there's no option when they score a touchdown. An easy call for them.
Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And that makes the score 7-0. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
This is taken just shy of the 10. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line.
Throwing after the interception. Bass. That's caught on the left side by Kirk. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a different story. Long night.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
On the handoff, this is Swift.
And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Looking to throw. Bass. He's going to fire one deep left sideline.
And this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Bass. Open man is Kirk, complete. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Looking to throw. Bass. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6.
A very important third down conversion right there, because when you're trailing and find yourself this deep in enemy territory, the kicker's not even part of your thought process. You got to make it pay off with 6. Nice connection right there to set up 1st and goal.
Back to throw again. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it.
And the Texans will take over possession here up at the 44.
But to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline. And now he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's just been kind of laying these passes out there. He's kind of been floating them a little bit. He's got to be more decisive in his reads and definitely more decisive in throwing the ball. Rifle it in there every now and then.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
But from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. But let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
And he is going to have a Texans 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That was a route run, not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Sermon now on 1st and 10.
And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
But that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Move. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And he'll bring this all the way up to the 45-yard line. These defenses have become so opportunistic, and no matter what you're playing, in this case wide receiver, you got to be careful.
Certainly do, because there is a phrase in today's football that we use all the time, completing the process of the catch. Well, it's after you do that where the trouble begins, right? Meaning you've tucked it away, you're trying to get downfield, but someone's always coming up trying to rake at the ball and knock it free.
And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
On the handoff, Sermon. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort from minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. They'll run out of the gun with Lacey. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. Now the Texans are going to call on the field goal unit. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Coming off every player's friend, the open week from last weekend.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Even if you're coming off of a loss as they did, the open week is exactly what you need after you kind of get over it a little bit, right? Rest up the mind, rest up the body, get yourself ready to go. And they have to be eager to play again, especially since they lost the last time out.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And he'll be just shy of the 20 at the 19 as he goes out of bounds. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Back to throw. Bass. Now he lets it go deep for Kirk. This is caught at the 20. And he'll finally be taken down, but he gets inside the Houston 20. A big play there for Detroit. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
That is caught at the 7. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
On the option to give to Swift here.
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown.
DeAndre Swift.
His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Lions able to get this back within a touchdown.
So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get them over the goal line.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is down to a field goal. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness.
It's C.J. Henderson picking it off.
And the Lions are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line.
Well, he's got one of the strongest arms in the league. Some people may say the strongest, but that can also have a downside occasionally, and here he's intercepted.
Yeah, when we talk about strong arms, being able to throw it deep downfield doesn't necessarily take the strongest. It takes more of the timing type of a quarterback. And it's great to be able to take your shot.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. A big play there for Detroit. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 25. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Well, we heard all week that they were going to put the football in the air a lot. The problem is that is now 4 interceptions, Charles, that he has thrown in this first half. How do you treat a situation? What do you say to your quarterback right now?
Boy, that's an interesting question because a lot of it depends on the head coach and the people making the decisions. You have to know your quarterback and know if he's mentally tough enough to have a chance to turn it around. Or is he a guy that maybe you've seen enough and it's time to go to the backup? But right now what you're rooting for is your defense to help keep you in the game, to give him an opportunity to get back on track.
On second down, Lacey. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he will finally be wrestled down at the Lions' 12-yard line. 55 rushing yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries. And you talk about great blocking up front. I don't think he was even touched, not a finger on him, until he was brought down to the ground.
I think we heard the whoosh as he went by, didn't we? Right through the gap. No one there, as you outlined, no one touched him at all. A free sprint into the secondary.
Yeah, that's what you call breaking free right there. A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards.
Coming up on 2nd and 7.
They'll hand it off. Lacey. And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes the defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on 3rd down. To throw, Moon. A dump off to Lacey. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Sermon.
Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal. So stuffed from the 2, now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action?
Definitely. Let him get outside and create. And if he has to run it, he has a little bit more space.
Again with Sermon.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown.
Trey Sermon.
His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans will add on to their lead. Point after, up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
After the touchdown, Sloman to do the kickoff honors. Taking it about the 1. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. He's going to rifle one deep left side.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted.
Picked off at the 45. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. So that now 2 consecutive drives that have ended in interceptions. You wonder if he's trying to do a little too much out there.
Oh, I like where you're going with that maybe he's pressing it a little bit, trying to be too fine with his throws, or maybe overestimating his arm. It could be a combination of all those things. In any event, he's got to get it figured out and in a hurry.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior. Big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up.
2nd and 9.
he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. Third down and 9.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
But things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even third down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
On first down, it's Moon. Escaping the pressure right. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. And down inside the 15 he goes. Same result as last play, 14 yards and another first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Off the option, it's Sermon. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Play action, it's Moon. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Henry Ruggs, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans will extend their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. After the touchdown, Sloman to do the kickoff honors. Taking it about the 1. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And with a 3-score deficit staring him in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 17. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, Charles, you're so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
And obviously not fooling anybody here as they stop him behind the line of scrimmage. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. he spins, gets through, and now an opening. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3.
It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter.
Now Jamal Agnew from his end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
He'll let this go deep for Ruggs.
And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. A huge play there for Houston.
Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. He'll pick up 7 there on the first down keeper.
So he is able to turn that into positive yardage, but I think it's fair to say that those are not the shots you're wanting your quarterback to have to absorb.
And he has to know sometimes when to say when. You have to know when to give yourself up, and let's face it, not easy for these guys to do because they're competitors as well. But sometimes you do learn your lesson the hard way, as he did there.
63 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston.
Henry Ruggs
with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year.
And the Texans take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs, and I think they're going to at least take a look at this.
Extra point safely through, and the lead is now 24.
After the touchdown, Sloman to do the kickoff honors. Taken in at the 3. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive? And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, as we get ready for 3rd down, let's go back and recap here. The sack on the first play of this drive, that threw a wrench in what they were trying to accomplish because they were compelled to throw the ball on 2nd down. A running play was not in the works. And that incompletion set up another passing down here on 3rd and long. They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. Agnew now to return. A 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Now a quick throw out wide to Ruggs.
3 yards the game there, 2nd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Here's Moon. And oh, this is taken in one-handed. What a catch.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter. Now Moon. Completes this out left to Ruggs. Touchdown! Henry Ruggs, 34 yards, and the Texans continue to pour it on. No problem there on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead.
After the touchdown, Sloman to do the kickoff honors. Fielded just outside the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side, because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. On first down, Johnson. This one caught. It's the tight end, Hockenson. And he is finally out of bounds, but he gets all the way down right around the 20. Maybe a frustration penalty there because he's picked them apart.
They've tried their best to get to him and haven't done it successfully. A penalty as a result of that hit there.
So now a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Looking to throw. Johnson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
Throwing quickly, this is caught by Kirk.
And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13. They'll look to throw again. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
This has kind of been the story all night long, hasn't it? An inability to really get much done on third downs, and it's costing them.
Johnson now throwing on 4th down. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. He couldn't get the ball away on 4th and goal. And this Texans defense stands tall. They start the drive on the ground with Lacey. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
On the option to give to Sermon here.
Call it a gain of a yard. It's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
But they run once more with Sermon.
And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down. The Texans send the punter out. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed. And it's a fake here on 4th and inches. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. So they get the first down. Maybe not a huge play in terms of yardage, but the fake punt does the job. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10.
Now a handoff. Sermon.
And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 4 yards there on the keeper, but still going to bring up a 3rd down. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Moon to throw. And he will find his man Ruggs. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. And for a 2nd straight play, the Lion defense drops him behind the line of scrimmage. Back-to-back 2-yard losses, and that sets up a tough 3rd and 14. Now Moon. He'll take a shot for Davis to the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans.
Gabriel Davis,
his 6th touchdown of the season.
And the Texans are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead.
The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1-0.
After the touchdown, Sloman to do the kickoff honors. And from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
They were coming off the extra week of rest, but this team started sluggish, and it really didn't get any better from there. And
Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out. And the Texans say they have it. They do.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
And they'll run with Sermon.
And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans.
Trey Sermon with his 2nd
second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Texans use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And it's no good. No, he misses the extra point, and our score stays right where it is. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far.
He's picked off near his own 48. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's Johnson throwing after the interception. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw.
He'll take a shot downfield for Pittman.
Oh, a leap it. He will make the catch. And they finally are able to take him down at the opposite 47. Back to throw now on 1st down.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Here's 2nd and 10.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 25-yard line. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
He's going to go up top for the end zone. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown.
DeAndre Swift.
He scored on the ground and through the air.
And the Lions get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit.
They'll try and throw for it. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
And he's going to get this inside the 30.
45 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
Back to Sermon on first down.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge. Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another first down. And look, they had great field position to start, but boy, they've done a nice job taking advantage of it.
Now they're just hoping to cap it off. Now a first down carry. It's Lacey. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And this carry brought to an end at the 8. Good stick skills, just not much room there to operate. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on third down. They'll try and run for it. Here's Lacey. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1.
They'll run for it. Sermon.
And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. So he needed 1. He ended up getting 3.
And I really like the way he ran that one, too. That's really intelligent running because oftentimes a running back could get too greedy. Try and hit the home run on a play where you just need a few yards. Well done there, making sure you got the first down and not worrying about trying to get a touchdown.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. And they take a knee. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Texans,
they're back to 500 as they move to 4-4 on the year.
And they will hit the road next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for Detroit, things are definitely going south quickly as they fall now to 1-6. And they'll get a home date next week against the Minnesota Vikings.